Hey everyone, thanks for joining today's webinar, Kick Off Your Marketing Journey with Mailchimp and Quickbooks. My name is Brittany and I'm a software engineer here at Mailchimp. I, along with my teammate Cody, will be your host for today.
Hey y'all, I'm Cody. I'm a senior technical writer here at Mailchimp.
I'm looking forward to working with you, Cody. Later in today's session, Kylie Tuosto, a director of product management, and Danielle Desarzant, a senior manager of product marketing, will join us to answer your questions. If you're in need of technical assistance at any time, visit our website at mailchimp.com/help. And if you're taking notes and feel like you've missed something, don't worry. We'll be sending you a recording of this webinar along with some follow-up resources. And with that, I think we're ready to check out today's agenda. So first, we'll talk about why you should market your practice. Then we'll cover strategies for how you can use Mailchimp to improve efficiency and client retention. Next, we'll present the key benefits of connecting QuickBooks to Mailchimp. And finally, we'll wrap up with a question and answer session. You can submit questions wherever you'd like, just make sure you use the tab marked questions.
We love getting those questions coming in, so please send them when you have them. So for now, let's get you into why you should market your business. I'm sure some of you are thinking, why do I need to market my business? I barely have enough time to keep up with my clients. How would I find the time to learn marketing? Well, what's interesting is that we've seen that over 70% of accountants recognize the importance of retaining clients and working efficiently. However, less than 20% saw getting trained in marketing as a way to achieve those goals. That means there's an opportunity that many accountants may not be taking advantage of.
That's right, Cody. Marketing isn't all about acquisition. You can use it to show that you're in tune with your clients' changing needs by staying connected and sending reminders. This could help with retention as well as upselling and cross-selling your other services.
Absolutely, Brittany. It's easier and less costly to keep existing clients than it is to acquire new ones. And existing clients are more likely to do business with you again, provide valuable feedback, and refer you to new clients. If you look at it from this angle, the effort you put into marketing or communications may save you time and improve your earnings in the long term.
That's right. A good referral can do a lot. And not to mention, it's nice when clients can take some of the work off your hands. And I'm happy to say that Mailchimp can also lighten your workload and streamline your marketing. Do you want to introduce everyone to Mailchimp, Cody?
I'd love to, Brittany. Thank you. Mailchimp is a leading all-in-one marketing platform. By all-in-one, we mean email marketing, marketing automation, and contact management. When you have everything you need in one place, it can save you time. And hopefully that means you can focus more on the areas of your business that you love to work on. Another point I want to mention is that most email marketing tools tell you how your emails perform. But Mailchimp analyzes billions of data points and then gives you recommendations to create better performing emails. All that to say, we're big on efficiency here at Mailchimp.
Yes, we are. So let's take a more detailed look at how Mailchimp can help you work more efficiently. Along the way, we'll use our fictional brand, Howell and Associates, to demonstrate some common use cases. I think a big part of efficiency is first knowing who your clients are and understanding their behavior, right? Having this info tells you who and what to prioritize so you can make the most impact. In Mailchimp, your audience dashboard highlights valuable details about your clients, including their location or how they engage with your marketing, and depending on your plan, predictions about their future buying behavior. All the information on the audience dashboard is clickable, so you can instantly create emails for specific sets of clients.
And I'll expand more on this concept. Audience segmentation is a marketing strategy based on identifying subgroups within your target audience. You can use your QuickBooks financial data, like services purchased, invoices paid, date of purchase, or spending over time, to deliver more personalized messaging. When a client feels like something was written just for them, they're more likely to be receptive to what you have to say. For example, at Hallwell and Associates, we could create a segment of clients who've paid invoices recently. This segment or set of clients would receive a message thanking them for paying their latest invoice. We'd also include a survey to encourage testimonials and referrals. Even though we're reaching out to a group, our message would feel more personal to the client because we're referencing a specific action that they've taken. That personal touch might also motivate our client to answer our survey. If segmentation sounds like a lot to do on your own, Mailchimp does offer some assistance. On your audience dashboard, you'll find suggested segments, and there are pre-built segments on the segments page. Pre-built segments are like pre-organized groups of clients that share common traits and behaviors.
And before we go any further, I want to break down some terms. In Mailchimp, we use the term customers, which is the same as your clients. You'll also see the term contacts, and that basically refers to anyone you store in your Mailchimp audience. For instance, a contact could be a client who is subscribed to receive your marketing, or a client who is not subscribed to receive your marketing.
Such a great distinction. Thanks for breaking that down, Brittany. And now I'll point out a few examples of our pre-built segments. So some options would be potential customers. These are contacts who haven't purchased services from your business. There's also recent customers. These are contacts who have purchased services in the past 30 days. And lapsed customers, customers who haven't purchased services in the past 8 months. And there are plenty of others. But segments are just one way to organize your audience. Brittany, will you tell us about tags?
Absolutely, I'd love to. So Mailchimp automatically tags your synced QuickBooks clients. Tags are internal labels that only you and your team will see. Our suggested tags will be on your audience dashboard, but they are fully customizable. Tags kind of function as notes that help you keep track of your clients. So let's say you've noticed that some clients haven't finished their year-end tasks. You could tag them as year-end reminder, so you know to send them a follow-up message. And if you're unsure of how to label your tags, think of these questions. Who's spending the most? Who's been a loyal client for years? And which clients haven't finished their year-end tasks or paid their invoices, etc. Another good one is, which additional services do clients need? And which clients open your newsletter? And I bet you're thinking, there could be a lot of tags to keep track of. Where would I find them? Well, you can manage all of your tags on the tags page. And check out our help center if you want a more in-depth explanation of how to use them.
Most definitely. That help center's got some good content. We're biased, of course, but you should definitely check it out. Tags can also be used along with our customer journey builder. Now, this feature helps you build automated marketing paths for your contacts based on how they interact with your business. So your contacts receive a personalized experience with your firm, and you won't have to worry about manually launching the right email at the right time. Let's illustrate how marketing automation could work in Mailchimp. In this scenario, members of our practice, Hallwell and Associates, attend an event. We collect the contact info of some potential clients and import them into Mailchimp. After that, we tag everyone we met at the event with Spring Conference.
And next, we set up a welcome automation with the condition that anyone tagged with Spring Conference will enter the automation. And those who enter will receive an email that details more about our services.
Yep, and right after that, if a client decides they want a consultation, Mailchimp's system can automatically tag them with the purpose of their inquiry. Maybe something like year-end tax prep. This tag tells us what we need to prepare on our end for the consultation. And if we need additional info from the client, we can send them an email with an intake form specific to their case.
That's a great point, Cody. And no matter what your goals are, it's important to regularly audit the performance of your emails and automations, right? Mailchimp offers audience and campaign analytics so you can see what's working and what could use improvement. You can spot trends in client behavior, see who's engaging the most with your emails, and detect pain points in your onboarding process. The insights you gain will help refine your targeting. For our example with Hallwell and Associates, we track the revenue from each event that we attended. Now, obviously, the events we'd want to attend again are the ones that brought in the most revenue, meaning high value clients.
Great point. And for now, that covers how Mailchimp and QuickBooks can save you time and improve efficiency. Up next, we'll talk about how you can use Mailchimp to support customer retention. Now, I believe good retention strategy starts with great customer service. And thanks to Mailchimp Inbox, you can get notifications to respond to feedback, whether it's from a survey, email, or an ad. A timely response shows clients that you're taking their feedback seriously, and the individual attention helps them feel more connected to your business. If you see clients who love the service you provide, don't be shy. Ask them for a testimonial or a referral. Who better to promote your business than loyal customers?
And I am so glad that you mentioned loyalty, Cody, because rewarding loyalty is another retention strategy. One way
Mhm.
to do this is to segment your loyal clients by their yearly spend and send them a warm thank you email coupled with the discount code. And I love a good discount code.
Oh, yeah, do.
Don't we all? Beyond a discount, you can also share exclusive news about your business or upcoming events.
hmm And some clients are loyal, but you might not have heard from them in a while. So you'll want to prioritize bringing lapsed clients back. You can segment your QuickBooks audience within a specific time frame, say the last 6 months. Then send an email describing your latest services and offerings.
And if a client is unsubscribed from your newsletter, try re-engaging them after they purchase a service. You could send them a survey or an email with the theme of how can we offer a better experience? This acknowledges that you haven't been in touch for a while, but you want to improve your newsletter and you'd appreciate their feedback. Of course, before an email can be sent out, you have to build it. If you're not a design professional, this can be a challenge, but Mailchimp makes it easy to get started. We have over 100 templates that fit a variety of purposes, like newsletters, featured services, and customer appreciation. Depending on your plan, you might not have access to all of our templates, so check out our pricing page for details.
And templates are customizable. You can simply drag and drop the content block you'd like to include directly into the email. One of our favorites is the apps content block. If you connect your Google or Yelp business account to Mailchimp, you can use the apps content block to display reviews from your clients directly in your email.
You know, I think a glowing review makes any design pop. But if you want a more custom on brand look, try Creative Assistant. This tool is available on standard plans or higher, and it uses the colors, fonts, images, and logos from your website to create designs for your marketing channels. All you have to do is enter your web address, upload your brand assets to Mailchimp, and choose a marketing goal. Finally, click on the design you'd like to use. You can either use it as is or make whatever adjustments you need.
Totally. And for now on to our next AI tool. On a standard plan or higher, you also have access to Content Optimizer. This feature offers suggestions based on marketing best practices. You'll get insights from top performing emails from Mailchimp users in your industry who have the same marketing objective. Here's some of the points that Content Optimizer analyzes. Skimmability. This is how easy it is for someone to scan your email and understand the message. Links and CTAs. Have you included enough functioning links with clear calls to action? This is something that's easier to overlook than you think, especially if you're used to emails where you're expecting the recipient to just click reply. And we'll finish our list with text and visuals. The Content Optimizer reviews images and words to assign a tone to your overall email. If data suggests that another tone has been more effective for your marketing objective, we'll recommend that instead.
How about that AI?
Thank goodness for it.
So many useful resources. But thanks for hanging in there with us, everyone. We're almost ready to start our Q&A, so keep your questions coming. We are looking forward to answering them right after we go over some key takeaways and next steps. So when you connect your QuickBooks account to Mailchimp, You'll be able to access your client's contact info and financial data in one place. You won't have to manually upload invoices and email addresses that you already have in your QuickBooks account. And Mailchimp will offer suggestions for tags and segments to help you organize your audience. So you'll start to get a more holistic view of your clients. You can also use marketing automation to nurture and retain your relationships with clients. Automatically send emails to reward loyalty. Remember that loyalty we talked about earlier? Give updates on your business and offer some personalized communication based on paid invoices.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of keeping up with client feedback, you can respond directly to clients from within Mailchimp. Keep the conversation going and don't be afraid to ask for referrals or testimonials. When it comes time to build your emails and automations, you do not have to start from scratch. We have email templates and pre-built customer journeys, segments, and tags that can work as your blueprints. And we offer built-in recommendations throughout our platform. It's okay if you're not a seasoned marketer or design pro. We'll guide you along the way.
And I actually just want to emphasize your last point, Cody. We welcome marketers of all experience levels, so don't be shy. Come on over.
Yes.
As for our next steps, we first encourage you to, just learn more about Mailchimp. You'll receive an email with some follow-up resources, and it'll also include an exclusive offer. You can get 75% off Mailchimp's standard plan for 12 months. Like I said, I love a discount. If you decide, right, like 75%, come on. So if you decide that Mailchimp is for you, we encourage you to sign up for an account today. Then when you're ready, connect your QuickBooks account to Mailchimp. You'll find the details on our integrations page if you want to set that up.
Yes, indeed. And finally, build and send your first email. If you don't know where to begin, try customizing a pre-built email template or use a pre-built welcome automation for inspiration. You can also just reach out to your highest spending clients with a show of your appreciation.
Okay. So we are now going to get ready to take your questions. Just a reminder, Kylie Tuosto, a director of product management here at Mailchimp, is joining us, as well as Danielle Desarzant, a senior manager of product marketing. Hey there.
Hey everyone.
Hi. Hi, Danielle. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
We want to get to you all's questions, tips, whatever you'd like to ask. We have some experts here ready to help, and we'd love to hear from you.
In the meantime, I know that Kylie and I would love to introduce ourselves. We have the pleasure of working with each other every single day. And so I do product marketing and go-to-market strategy here at Mailchimp, and I have the pleasure of working on the QuickBooks integration, as well as some of our future things that we're building together with QuickBooks. Kylie?
Awesome. Hi, y'all. I'm Kylie Tuosto, leading product team. I've been formerly at Intuit working on QuickBooks and joined with the Mailchimp acquisition. And I'm primarily working on integration connections between QuickBooks and Mailchimp.
Awesome. I'm so happy that y'all are here.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Yeah, for sure. We actually have a question from, please forgive me if I mispronounce your name, Jesu. Jesu's question is, how much can this help my young business and what is the price? Either of you like to grab
I'll let Danielle take this one.
Yeah, so first of all, I love the fact that you're just getting started on your small business journey. We love small businesses here at Intuit and at QuickBooks and Mailchimp. And so first, I would ask you, like, what are your goals? Do you already have existing relationships with your clients? If not, you may be looking to go find them, and Mailchimp can help you do that. First, I would want you to ensure that you have a brand logo, that you have a website that's inclusive of a form that's allowing folks to subscribe to your marketing communication so that they can hear more about the services and the solutions that you can offer them. And then once you get that audience built up, you can start managing those contacts like you heard Brittany and Cody talk about. So you can start organizing them so that you can speak to them based on things that are important or relevant to them or similarities that they have with other folks in your audience. I would also encourage you to set up a welcome automation. As they come into your audience, you want to be able to welcome them and give them an overview of everything that you are doing for your customers. So those are just a few things that can get you started on your marketing journey.
Excellent. All right, we have another question from Jamie here, and I like this question a lot, actually. Can we see the interaction a potential client has with our email? If they click on a link that leads to our website, etc. It feels like in our industry, you really only have one shot at enticing a high-value client, so we need to know how well they have interacted with our communication.
Cool, I can take this one. Yeah, so you can, when you go into Mailchimp and you look at the client profile view, you actually get a pretty robust set of interaction data. So you'll see when they viewed an email, what they clicked on in an email, and you can kind of follow that thread through. Depending on your website and the integration, you might be able to get even more data about what they're clicking on your website. And so that should really give you that insight that you're looking for to see who's opening, who's viewing, how are they interacting. And from that detail on the customer profile, you can then start to draw conclusions about, oh, well, this is working when I send emails with this kind of content. Mailchimp also has a more advanced concept called A/B testing. So if you want to start to understand with high value clients, does this kind of framing work better than that kind of framing? You can you can do A/B tests to start to see, okay, was this content more effective than the other type of content? So you get a really robust set of tools to start help you triangulate what communication patterns are working best.
Thank you, Kylie. Yeah, those A/B testing tools are going to be a great way for you to, like we said, figure out what's working and how you can improve. And so I think that's a great note. Before we get into our next question, I just want to mention that we have some attendees on this webinar from all over the world. So if you want to share and let us know where you're tuning in from, just let us know in the chat, and we'd love to hear where everyone is coming from right now. We think it's super cool that you all were able to join us today. And with that, I'll get into our next question. So this question is from Nina. Can you tell me what the difference between segments and tags are? Which is the better one to use? That's a good one.
Great question.
I love that one. It's my favorite thing to talk about. I'm so obsessed with number one, partnerships like Mailchimp and QuickBooks, and then number two, audience management within our platforms. And so I would love to take that one. Tags, as Brittany and Cody explained earlier, are simply just custom labels to help you organize your audience, our clients, our customers in a way that makes sense to you and your business. Segments, I think of more as a way to really determine different criteria. So for segments, you can combine multiple things together. So say they haven't done business with you in 30 days and they also are located in the United Kingdom or a particular time zone that's different from yours, and you want to be able to speak to them based on things that are unique to them that you already know about them. And so segments allow you to really group multiple criteria together in order to personalize your message to your customers, whereas tags is a way to just do it in whatever way makes sense to you and your business. So it's more like blue, yellow, purple, like what are the things that you like? And so in terms of which one is best though, I think it just depends on what you're looking to accomplish and what your business goals are, and where you are in your business journey. If you're just getting started, tags are something that's easy to pick up and everyone understands. They're probably one of our most used organizational tools because you can still use them to send personal messages to your audience, as you saw with the spring conference example that we shared earlier. And then segmentation is just really a more advanced way of targeting your audience if you want to really get into the weeds about what did they purchase, where are they located, how have they engaged with your particular communications in the past. Anything else you would add there, Kylie, that I may have left out?
Yeah, that was a great answer. I would just add that you can also segment based on tags and other criteria. So I would think of tags as like a one-off kind of manual label that you're applying to a particular customer, and segments as the groupings of those things. So let's say I wanted to do everybody who recently signed up for my intro consultation and are tagged as interested in my payroll services. So that really allows you to get at certain groups of people who, you know something manually about them, like a tag, and you have some data about them in the system. So think of segments almost as a superset of tags. You can really use both, that you don't have to choose one or the other. But I agree with Danielle's answer that tags are, a little bit simpler to get started with, especially for service-based businesses where so much of your business, like it's details that you know about the client that Mailchimp doesn't have a way of knowing.
Totally. Yeah. I love that as well. Excellent. And so we have a preset question here. How do I go about setting up QuickBooks with my Mailchimp account? Pretty important question.
Yeah, that's a great one. I can take that one. Okay, so if you're in QuickBooks, what you want to do is go to the Apps tab, or QuickBooks for Accountants, go to the Apps tab. And from there, you'll see Mailchimp. You can go through the Mailchimp integration flow from there. If you don't have an account, it'll walk you through setting up account. If you do have an account, it'll link your two accounts so that the data flows between the two. When you go through there, you'll hit a first question that Cody and Brittany alluded to earlier, which is whether or not you're going to bring your clients in as subscribed or non-subscribed. If you feel that you have a relationship with your clients where you feel you can be sending them emails and email marketing, you can go ahead and bring them in as subscribed. If you don't feel that you have that consent from them, you can get that consent from them offline. You can also get it automated through, a lot of accountants have like an intake form for new clients. You can put a checkbox on there saying that you've received consent. And once you have that, you can bring all of those contacts into Mailchimp. And as Cody and Brittany mentioned earlier, you'll be able to bring in not only the contact name and details, so your customer and their details, but also your items, your products and services that you're offering. And having all of that data in Mailchimp will let you, again, remember that use case I was giving you around, like on the contact profile, you can see their interaction with your email. So one example is, let's say they opened your, your recent email campaign, and then they went and signed up for your payroll services or something like that. You'll be able to see that in that kind of interaction like that. So being able to see that kind of holistic profile in one place. And then, like Brittany and Cody mentioned in there, you'll have a dashboard widget specific to QuickBooks on your audience homepage. That's a great jumping off point to get started. But you can also just take a look around and see how your data is coming into Mailchimp and what you can do with it.
So I have another question that has come through. Well, first though, let me remind you all about our help center. If you have any questions, even outside of this webinar, always feel free to go to mailchimp.com/help to get assistance with what it is that you're looking for, whatever, however we can help, just go to mailchimp.com/help and we're happy to do that. Also, don't be afraid to test things out. The more you test things out, the more you'll get to know your audience and start to learn what they respond best to. Don't worry about messing anything up. And feel free to ask for help if you do test something out and you want to undo, but you're not sure how. There's always a way to start over in Mailchimp. Changes that you make are not set in stone. So we're just, we're here for you. Okay. We have a question here from Bim. Bim's question is, if one signs up for Mailchimp and it is linked to QuickBooks, may you still send things like newsletters and emails via Mailchimp to prospects?
Yes, absolutely. So what's great about Mailchimp is that it's going to be a superset of your data. It's going to include both the leads that you have coming in from, say, the contact form on your website, as well as any contacts that you've, say, already invoiced or sent an estimate or proposal to in QuickBooks. So it'll be a superset, and you can email all of those people from Mailchimp. So if it's a newsletter, a welcome automation, even if that client hasn't made its way to QuickBooks yet, you'll have them stored in Mailchimp so that you can communicate with them.
Excellent. And we actually have another question from Bim. They ask, does this plan still include the offer of first 2,000 free monthly offer of Mailchimp?
We actually made a change. So depending on if you're an existing customer or new to our platform, will determine those thresholds. So within the past 6 months, we actually did a change, and 2,000 was our threshold for, several years. And we actually lowered that to 500 contacts being the new threshold. So that is something to keep in mind as your business grows and your fans grow and that loyalty increases. We want to celebrate that with you, but it also, it comes with an additional cost as your audience grows.
So there's a question here from Katharina. Does this come with an easy to understand dashboard rather than just a set of data? If so, what does the dashboard contain? Great question, Katharina.
Yeah, this is a great question, and also an area where we're constantly trying to evolve. So as you have thoughts and ideas, please send them our way so that we know, what would be most useful and helpful to you. Mailchimp actually has a couple of dashboards. So there's the homepage dashboard, which is really a summary of all of your engagement and activity with Mailchimp. I think what was most helpful for a lot of service-based businesses is the audience dashboard. That's where you'll see summaries of things like how, what age groups is your audience in, what tags and segments do you have that you can automate. We also have pre-built segments and pre-built initial campaigns to get you started. And so a lot of those things are available from the audience dashboard, and including things like audience growth. So, are you getting a lot of new clients, new leads, people signing up for, maybe you have a newsletter, and you'll be able to see a lot of that data from the audience dashboard, as well as a whole analytics and reporting center. And I know you said not just a set of data. That's where you'll get all of the kind of more data centric, where you can really do things like custom reporting and analyze your audience. For a lot of service-based businesses who have a smaller audience, that is not as useful as, say, like email engagement, right? To somebody's question earlier, are customers clicking? What types of emails are they clicking on? What emails are they opening? Within, Mailchimp, two primary metrics that a lot of customers are looking at are email open rate and click rate, and kind of trying to improve those metrics over time and see how your business improves and your engagement improves. Hopefully that answers your question. But Danielle, is there anything you would add?
I think the only other thing I'd add, you did a great job and summarized that in a perfect way. The only thing I would add is that I love the fact that it also prompts them on whether or not you want to send an email, a postcard, or start a social campaign. And so that multi-channel aspect comes into play for those who, may not be sure, they may not be sure where to start, right? Like I've only done email maybe. It makes it easy for you to also speak to that segment or that pre-built segment that's been identified to you on the audience dashboard. You can easily determine, do you want to send an email to them? Do you want to send a postcard? Or do you want to start a social ad? So I think that's pretty cool as well. That's the only thing I would add.
That's awesome. Good point.
I love that. Before we move on to the next question, wanted to send out a reminder for everyone watching the webinar. Please check out Mailchimp on different social platforms. We're on TikTok, Instagram, and we have a YouTube channel. This will help you get started with Mailchimp. And also keep in mind that our help center is full of resources, videos, and articles that'll help you get started. And I'll move on to our next question from there. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name, Isla. Hi, I'm from the UK working in marketing at an accounting firm. I was wondering, does the 75% discount apply to anyone? We are currently on the free plan, but have ran out of audiences and need more, but I wasn't sure if this discount just applies to new customers.
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the things that we're excited about is just really increasing the number of Mailchimp and QuickBooks mutual users. And so we will give this discount to existing or new customers. So, but what it may require for you to do is to call our support team in order to manually apply that to you. Because if you go to the landing page, it will be like, oh, you're an existing person, you're an existing customer. And so I would encourage you to contact our sales and support team, and then they'll be able to manually apply it. Now, the important thing to note is that you may still have additional charges depending on the size of your audience. So if you've hit a certain threshold, I don't know how large your audience is, but there could be additional fees attached to that, but at least it'll reduce your monthly rate for you up to a certain threshold of audience size. I love that question.
One other thing I would add, if you're finding, limitation with audiences, is do look at segmentation. A lot of times what you want to use a different audience for is when you have really mutually exclusive audiences, and that may be absolutely the case for your business if you're, maybe managing different audiences for different businesses or different arms of the business, or say you want an audience for your internal employees versus an audience for your customers. But also if it is just within your customers and you're trying to group them separately, that's really what segmentation is for. And so using segments and tags to group your audience at that level might be something that helps you for if that applies to your use case.
That's a great point, Kylie. I love that.
Thanks for adding that, for sure. So I have a question for Danielle and Kylie. What are some of your key highlights as to why someone should connect their Mailchimp and QuickBooks accounts?
I love that. There's so many amazing reasons that we've already discussed. What's one that we haven't talked about yet, Kylie?
I think we've talked about most of them. For me, though, I think it's really just I actually use QuickBooks and Mailchimp integration for my own small side business, which is an e-commerce business. And what I find most helpful is the profile data. As you probably know, in QuickBooks, the customer profile is, really focused on the transactions that you have with that customer, but not about the relationship or the engagement that you have with that customer. And a lot of times that is happening through email or other communications and exchanges. In Mailchimp, you have the inbox tool and you have all of the email engagement. And so that profile that you have of your customer in Mailchimp is a lot more robust. And especially for an e-commerce business where you're bringing in a lot of the website kind of shopping data, if you have any clients that are in that, they can be really helpful there. So for me, being able to see all of that, the full picture of my customer all in one place is pretty powerful and I think very insightful. So I really like that aspect. Danielle, what about you?
Yeah, for me, I would say behavioral targeting. It has been like my little baby since joining the Mailchimp organization. We launched it back in like 2019. And I think that whenever you're able to take financial data or the paid invoice information that you have or paid receipts in QuickBooks and bring that into a platform like Mailchimp, you have power at your disposal that is invaluable to help you speak to customers who may not have done business or clients who may not have done business with you in 2-3 years if you're a more established business. And so that's the thing that like gets me most motivated is that we're providing a solution to accountants like yourself, practices like the ones you represent, to be able to really put amazing data at your fingertips to help send informed communications to your customers and not only help you grow your business, but also help them with needs that they have in order to continue to grow together. And so I think behavioral targeting is probably the thing that I love the most that Mailchimp and QuickBooks power together.
I love that because it not only helps us with using Mailchimp, but it helps the customers who want to be heard from anyway. It's kind of a win-win in both scenarios.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we have another question from Jamie. They say, does Mailchimp integrate with other platforms? The priority of our business at present is attracting high-value clients. So the advice we need is how to locate these clients. The most obvious to me is LinkedIn. If we connected to potential clients via LinkedIn, for example, can Mailchimp interact with that sort of platform if their emails are linked?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think for the majority part of your answer to this is it's something that we're working on. So right now, the way that the LinkedIn integration works with Mailchimp is it allows you to send LinkedIn posts from Mailchimp. So similar to what Danielle mentioned, when you want to be able to kind of aggregate and centralize all of your social media posting, you can do that from Mailchimp. What it doesn't do yet, but what we have in the works is doing the integration more for kind of inbound like lead capture, and then also being able to message back and forth, so that one-to-one communication channel. So not yet on exactly what you're looking for, but there are lots of integrations with the platform, LinkedIn included. So definitely check out what they all do. I don't even know what all of them do, but I know on that one that's something that we're definitely working on.
I love the mention of other platforms and other integrations because we can't bring enough awareness to the 300 plus integrations that Mailchimp has across multiple verticals. Like there's just not enough time to talk about all of them. And to Kylie's point, It's hard to know what all of them do because there are so many, but I would encourage you to go to mailchimp.com/integrations, and we have an integrations directory within our app marketplace that allows you to search for whatever platform like Canva or Eventbrite or Calendly or any of the amazing other brands and tech platforms that are out there that you may be using, and you want to connect them all together. I encourage you to go to our website and search for them because we probably have it or a relationship with them that exists.
Absolutely. Thanks for throwing that in. Definitely, we have so many integrations. Yeah, there's so many to choose from. Well, I'll give this question to you first, Danielle, and then I'll repeat it when Kylie returns to see if she'd like to add anything, if that's okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Awesome. So we have a question from Kevin. What's the best way to tidy up the contacts? When I connected my QuickBooks account, I realized there are a lot of customers that I no longer do business with. Would it have been better if I had tidied the contacts in QuickBooks?
I love this question because once again, I have a passion for audience management. And so you could have done that. You could have done that. But it sounds like you've already connected your account and you realize that you brought over clients that you no longer do business with. That's okay. If you brought them into Mailchimp because you've already connected the two platforms together, you can delete or archive those contacts because you're no longer doing business with them. I would encourage you to archive them because you never know when they may boomerang and come back to you, and then you'll still have all of that historical data from your previous interactions with them logged. And so I would encourage you to archive them, and we have a lot of information about how to archive, delete contacts on Mailchimp.com that I would totally encourage you to follow up with. But audience organization is something that we encourage. If you're an accountant, obviously you all have peak seasons that come and go. And I would recommend after your peak season comes and ends, I would recommend that you tidy up your audience and maybe take a look at your tag organization. Are these tags still relevant to where your business is today? Or are there some folks that you no longer do business with that you need to archive because they may be impacting your engagement rates within your audience and the email communications that you're sending? So I would just encourage every small business owner to kind of look at that at least once or twice a year once you're out of your busy seasons in order to just practice good contact management and audience management.
Totally. And just to reiterate what Danielle said, what the benefit of archiving is that it does not charge you to have them in your account. Whereas if you delete, that's going to remove all of the data that you've had with that contact. Archiving basically keeps it off to the side where you won't be able to contact them, so that if they want to subscribe again, they will automatically rejoin your audience without having to lose that data. Just an important distinction because you want to keep that information if it becomes relevant in the future.
That's exactly
great. Yes, yes. And I think we have one last question from Jamie. Thank you all again for sending these questions in. So Jamie asks, how do you guys feel AI is going to develop in this sort of industry? Although automated emails developed by AI is great, I wonder if long-term people will react negatively if they start to realize the interaction isn't human and our service is less personal. How are we going to balance the two?
Thoughtful question.
Very thoughtful.
That's a really great question.
Kylie, do you want to take a look at it?
Yeah, I'll take a stab, but if anybody else wants to add, please feel free. Right now Mailchimp is looking and has, beta products out, so feel free to try them for a lot of AI content generation. So the idea is that, if you're setting up an email, you can take either content that you've already written and have it rewrite it for you, add a little bit more content, tweak the voice and tone. There's a lot of different controls you have to make the content feel more personalized. So it's not 100%, written by a bot. It's, human augmented, which is great. We're also working on a beta version of a lead responder. So in your inbox, if you have a lead coming in and you want to draft a response about, the services you provide, a lot of businesses do that, but they're repeating a lot of the same content over and over again. So we want to save you time, take a little bit of that weight off your shoulders. But what a lot of customers are telling us is they love that. They love having the draft that they can then tweak and make it their own, or add a little bit of, their own personality. And ultimately, over time, our hope is that our AI will get good enough to where the bot can kind of understand and know your personal preferences and do a little bit better of a job replicating your personality, your tone, your style. So that's what we're working on. But I agree, it's a really interesting balance. We are also at this interesting intersection of how do we make things more automated for all of you who are doing a lot of these manual one-to-one conversations with your clients, but at the same time not lose that aspect of the human and the interpersonal that makes your business what it is and why you love interacting with your clients. And so we're trying to balance those. And I think that idea of like a draft that then you can tweak and iterate from is really where we're starting, and we'll see where it takes us.
So exciting.
Absolutely. Well, it seems we have answered all questions that have come in. As a reminder, just, reach out to our support team at mailchimp.com/help, or use our help center to assist you as you're going through connecting your QuickBooks and Mailchimp accounts. Wanting to learn more about integrations with Mailchimp, you can see all integrations with Mailchimp at mailchimp.com/integrations. We thank you all so much for being here with us today.
Absolutely. And if you've enjoyed this webinar, we also have a variety of other ones available to help you use Mailchimp. Check out mailchimp.com/workshops for more information. And as we mentioned before, if you want more video content, please check out our YouTube channel.
And yeah, just again, thank you all so much for joining us today. See you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you all.